Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have a card as a part of a hop. I will speak a little bit about that later, but let's jump in. So I am going to start by cutting down my cardstock. If you guys have ever done one of Kendra's hops, you know that she designs these beautiful layouts that you can just cut down 6x6 cardstock and create these really great cards. And there's usually, I think there's 15 designs in all. I chose to do design number 14 just because it spoke to me. But if you've been with me for a little while, you know that I don't tend to measure my cardstock. I kind of eyeball everything. So when I get to do these hops with Kendra, she asked me, because we're friends, and it's always a bit of an interesting thing for me. It's always a fun challenge just because, she has these specific measurements for everything, and I have to really pay attention so that I can make sure that I get my measurements correct. And I'm pretty sure I got them all, but you know what? Honestly, I don't think it matters if you're off slightly. I think that it would still make beautiful cards. But she does go to a lot of effort to create these beautiful designs that you get to kind of just cut down and enjoy, and that's really neat. So I'll tell you the exact measurements so you guys know what I'm aiming for here. So the base is 5.5 by 4.25, your standard A2 base. And then there is a mat, which is cut to 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then the panel that I cut out of white cardstock there was 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So that's your base and then your beginning layers. And then that one that I just cut, that is the 2.5 by 3 3/4, and then I'm cutting its mat right now, which is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. And then the thin one that I do next is 1 1/4 by 5, and the mat will be 1 3/8 by 5 1/8. And this is also in the information. So if you guys are interested in making or like recreating the same measurements that I have, it's in the info of Kendra's stuff. Like I'm telling you just so you know what I'm trying for, but all of this information is down below. You can just click on the link and see what sketch 14 looks like, and you would be creating the same one as me. And then for the circle, which you're going to see me die cut here in a second, it's supposed to be 3 1/4 with a mat that is 2.5. However, I don't own any punches. I have one nested circle die set, so I kind of tried to be as close as I could. I don't think I'm quite that measurement, but that's okay. I am as close to the measurement as I could be with what I have on hand. And this month, this sponsor is Polka Doodles, and they have a lot of really fun, interesting stuff. So the 2 pattern papers you saw me just cut down, they are their designs. I'm going to bring in this super cute penguin here in a minute. That's also from their shop. So they sponsored this. Thank you so much, Polka Doodles. It's a beautiful set of fun, crafty goodies to play with. So I really appreciate getting to play with them. And then for my accent color, which is what I did all of my layers in, I chose to just do a matte silver cardstock. I thought that it would go really well with this snowflake set of papers and the little penguin. I just thought that color palette would be really fun together. And I did choose to actually Copic color my little penguin. I find that's the easiest way for me to color things when I print images, just because then they are ink safe. I have an inkjet printer. If you have a laser printer, you could do different techniques, but I only own an inkjet. So for me, I do use my Copics to color. And I didn't think that that was dark enough, so I went back in with, that was originally C5. I went back in with C7, and then I'm going to bring in C9 to make it just a little bit darker. I chose to go with grays instead of black just because I wanted a bit more depth and dimension. I didn't want him to just kind of be a flat color. And then for the little packages, I did bring in a little purple. Purple is pretty much one of my favorite colors, so I tend to add it to things just because I think it's really fun. So I brought in V15 and V17. And then for the tealy color that I wanted to bring in on the other packages, I used BG45 and BG49. As I said, everything I use is always linked and listed down below if you ever have a question. And if I miss something, feel free to leave me a comment so I can fix it, or I can just answer a question if you have one. And then for the little feet and the beak, I used YR14 and YR16. So that's the coloring. We are going to color here for a second. So this is a hop. So there is going to be another video linked down below in the description for the next person in the hop. There is also a hashtag that you can click on. That's also down below. I promise everything you need is going to be in the description. So it's all good. Don't worry. You'll be able to hop along and check out the whole design team's beautiful cards that they made with this challenge, this card sketch series of many creators. It's pretty great. And I think Kendra started it off, so I'm sure you went and checked out her card. She's incredibly talented. She's a good friend of mine. We both have channels, so it's always fun to chat back and forth and kind of talk about what's going on, or the strengths and struggles you're kind of having with YouTube or creating videos, or just whatever is going on in life. So it's always wonderful to have a friend that is in that same kind of group or industry as you, so that you can kind of vent about stuff that's going on and they understand how you're feeling. So that's just a friendship that I greatly cherish. And I did bring in my white gel pen. It's honestly just because I wanted to add a little bit more interest. I find that if you add a highlight, and this is a pretty stark highlight, you could do it with markers if you wanted to. I chose to just bring in my white gel pen and add them here and there just because I thought that would be really fun. And there's no rhyme or reason. It's not set to a light source whatsoever. It's just where I thought that it would look fun or cute or add a little more interest. And I think that's pretty much all. I'm going to fussy cut this image out here in a second. I don't mind. You could, if you had a die cutting machine, because this is I believe a PNG file, you absolutely could use a cutting machine to cut out the little penguin. I just chose to fussy cut because that doesn't bother me at all. I don't mind. So I just fussy cut him out. But there are, there are other ways to do that if you had a cutting machine. So it's pretty fun. And then I'm just going to adhere all my layers together. So then we're going to try to make sure I line them up where Kendra has them on this sketch. I just think it's a really fun challenge for me. If you work with pattern paper a lot, then her challenges would be right up your alley, because that's the whole thing. I think the whole idea is that you take a 6x6 paper pad, and she uses several sheets in the pad and creates these great card designs. And the thought process behind that, like I don't work in pattern paper very often. So to me, it's like mind-boggling that Kendra takes these designs and like cuts out the images in like her mind and creates this. And this is the 12th one. Like, she's done this 12 times and come up with different designs. Like, I don't know. Kendra, you are phenomenal. Like, I can't even fathom what it would take to create that. My mind just doesn't work that way, apparently, because I can't even wrap my head around the idea that you just cut these pieces of paper down and create these great cards and you don't waste stuff. Like, it just, to me, that's just mind-boggling, and it's amazing. And thank you so much for including me in this hop. It's always fun when I get to kind of try out different ideas, because I don't do much pattern paper. I generally just create my own backgrounds because I think, that I have a lot of fun with sprays and inks and whatnot. So it's always a bit of a challenge to make my mind wrap around something like this, because it's just not what I would normally do. And I actually had my computer open on the desk beside me. I have two desks that sit side by side, and I crafted one and I edited the other. And I had my computer open with the sketch so that I could make sure that I was laying the stuff where it needed to be. It's kind of funny, but that's what I did to make sure that I would do Kendra's design justice, because I wasn't sure if I'd remember where the stuff needed to go. It's just kind of funny. I mean, we all think differently, which is phenomenal. It's just kind of funny when you you struggle with a pattern paper card. But I'm sure that there are going to be many stunning cards in this set of hops, so I hope you guys will check them out. Leave us a like, leave us a comment if you feel up to it. I mean, if you want to and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe too. That just lets us know that you're enjoying our content and you want to hang out with us as we create different things, which is always kind of exciting when you are a little channel, It's really fun to have people want to hang out with you every week. I don't think I have much left about the card. I am going to add some silver gems, or I guess they're pearls, up in that corner as the embellishment, which is what Kendra has on the design. But other than that, this card is pretty straightforward. I sized the penguin to be slightly larger than the circles. That was intentional. I wanted him to be able to sit on the circles. I thought that was just a really cute placement for them. And I did opt not to add a sentiment. You absolutely could. Polkadoodle has a whole bunch of beautiful ones. I kind of felt like the card didn't need it. I kind of felt like this made it a little more versatile. It could be a Christmas card. It could just be a winter card. It could be, maybe that little penguin's bringing you birthday presents, if you have a winter birthday, so I kind of chose not to add a sentiment so that I could make this be whatever I wanted it to be when I sent it to somebody. So that was kind of my thought process, but you absolutely could and make it specifically a Christmas card or whatever you want it to be. I just kind of chose to make it a little more open-ended so that I had a little wiggle room if I could figure out what I wanted to send it to somebody for. And then because I can never have enough shimmer and shine, I did bring in my clear glitter pen just to add a little bit on the presents, give them a little more interest. You don't need to do this, completely optional, but I thought that it would just add a really pretty shimmer and shine to those gifts. And now I'm going to hold it up so you can check out that silver cardstock behind those beautiful papers. I think that this card turned out super cute. I'd love to know what you guys think of it, because of course it's always interesting when I do pattern paper cards. I would love to know what you guys think. I hope that you will consider leaving a comment, subscribing, maybe jumping to the next video and then doing the same for them. Jump through the hop and tell everybody what you think of their creations. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.